friends, and welcome back to yet another episode of Christian Authors with Marilyn Jeanne Designs. I'm your host, Gina Stockdall, and I am so honored that you're here with me today. Now, before we dive in, I really want to pause for a moment. Today's episode is titled World Trade Centers. That's not just a catchy title, it's intentional, because today is September 11th. Like so many of you, I remember exactly where I was when I first heard the news. I was just 9 years old, sitting at school eating lunch. A teacher came in and whispered something very serious, and before we knew it, our entire class was gathered around one of those wheelie television sets. I remember watching in shock as the planes hit the towers, and my little mind could hardly understand what was actually happening. But I do know that I'll never forget the weight in that room, the way that the air felt heavy, the tears, the silence. The day changed our nation forever. And if 9/11 taught us anything, it's this: life is short. But life is also resilient. We rebuild, we will rise again, and we will find joy even after tragedy. And while we will never forget the victims, the survivors, and the heroes of that day, we can also carry forward the lesson it planted in all of us, that life is a gift and it cannot be wasted. So why am I starting here? Well, on a podcast about writing and self-publishing, am I bringing up such a heavy moment in history for a reason? Yes, because you need to hear me on this. You don't have forever. I know you've been feeling that nudge from the Lord to write your story. Maybe it's been sitting in your journal for years. Maybe you've shared pieces of it on social media, or you've thought, one day I'll write that book. But can I lovingly remind you, we don't always get a one day. James 4:14 says, "Whereas ye know not what shall be on the morrow. For what is your life? It is even a vapor that appeareth me for a little time and then vanisheth away." Your story matters. Not next year, not someday, but right now. And I'm going to talk to so many of you who say things like, "I'm not qualified to write. No one will want to read my story. What if I fail?" And honestly, I had those exact same thoughts as you. But let me ask you this. What if the men and women who rebuilt New York after 9/11 had said, "It's too hard. We don't have the right tools. People might not like what we do"? No. That city rose again because people were willing to do the work. They were scared, they were unsure, they were imperfect, but they were determined. And the same can be true for you. Your testimony is not for you, believe it or not. In Revelation 12:11, it tells us that, "And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony." Your story could be the very thing that helps someone else overcome. I know that it's scary. I know that you feel that you're not enough, because I still feel that way to this day after publishing 5 separate books. But here's the truth. God does not call the qualified. He qualifies the called, okay? If he's placed that book on your heart, it's not by accident. It's not random, and it certainly is not optional because it's a calling. Now, think about those images from 9/11. The firefighters were running into burning buildings. The ordinary everyday citizens who became heroes in an instant. They did not plan on being heroes that morning. They were simply going to school and work and just going about their day. They just stepped into the moment that God had placed them in. Writing your book might not look like running into a burning building, but it is stepping into obedience. It is stepping into the moment that God has prepared for you. And that obedience will bear fruit that you cannot even imagine. And the best part is, you don't have to do it alone. The team at Marilyn Jeanne Designs wants to walk with you. We have a professional editor and proofreader. We have a professional designer. And we have 2 people who are professional marketers who know how to get your book into the hands of the readers who need it the most. And I don't just say that from a business standpoint. I say that as a sister in Christ who's been where you are. I am a 5-time best-selling author, and believe me when I say I completely understand the fear, the uncertainty, and the constant second guessing. But I also know the joy of being obedient, of hitting publish, of watching God use my messy words to impact lives everywhere. So here's what I want you to remember. Do it messy. Do it scared. Do it imperfectly. Just make sure that you do it. Because there is nothing better than being obedient to God and then watching the fruit of your hard work begin to bloom. So today, as we remember September 11th, as we honor the lives lost, and as we reflect on how far we have come as a nation, let's also take this as a personal reminder. Life is precious. Life is too short. And life is meant to be lived boldly with faith and with obedience. Are you ready to get your story out there? If you are, we are here for you at Marilyn Jeanne Designs. You can reach out to us today and let us get started on that book that's been living inside of your heart. Because just like the towers that once stood tall in New York City, your story can and will rise. It can stand, and it can inspire generations to come. You got this, and we got you. Until next time, this is Gina Stockdall with Christian Authors with Marilyn Jeanne Designs. Be brave, be obedient, and remember that your story matters.